Fresno comes back and wins. Now Santa Maria will put up a three. Bang! Santa Maria!
Here's Warner. Here comes a headed jam. Counted for two. Field. Adios! And the Falcons win on a walk-off. And it's saved. What a game. What's this? Smack.
To the left. That is gone.
Block for Perez. That's my play. Off the backboard. Count it. And a win. And a win. Brian Perez wins the game for the Santa Rosa Warriors, and they go nuts. And why not?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Real Sports Live. I'm Mark Molina, and we are at Cabinets Field here at the Cabinets Sports Complex in Corpus Christi with CCISD softball here on a Monday night. We have Victoria West coming in to take on Corpus Christi Carroll. I'm Mark Molina on the call here tonight, and we're doing our introductions here with Victoria West, the visitors. We're going to run down their starting lineup, starting with number 9, Sydney Harvey, followed by number 12, Daisy Fuentes, followed by number 16, Christine Wensky, batting fourth, Caterina Zarate. Batting number 5 is number 17, Alexis Ramos. Number 19, Malaya Huerta. Number 11, Marissa Rosales. Batting 7th, Lily Chavez. Batting 2nd is Zaria Brigham. And number 13th, batting 9th, Grace Wheeler. And let's come over here to Corpus Christi Carroll to catch up with their starting lineup. Leading off is Lindsay Leal, followed by number 2, Elia Matan, followed by Vanessa Quiroga, number 1, followed by Caitlin Mendes, batting 4th, batting 5th, number 10, Rhea Avalos, followed by number 15, Allison Garcia, batting 6th, Jasmine Trevino, number 7, batting 8th, Bree Herrera, number 13, batting 8th, Haley Duran, and batting 9th, number 20, Jazz Miller. And we're going to have the national anthem here to get things going, and then we're going to come back with the first pitch. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live.
Great country, and accordingly, all of us should honor that symbol by standing, placing our right hands over our hearts, and gentlemen should remove your hands. Remember, silence is a form of respect, and everyone should remain standing until the national anthem is played.
First pitch is coming up next, right after this. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Since COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people with grants, and so we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, top of the first inning. Leading things off for Victoria West is going to be Sydney Harvey, the center fielder. Harvey going to be facing starting pitcher Vanessa Quiroga for Carroll in the circle here. I want to thank everybody for joining us. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube, going live right now on the Roku Network and on Apple TV. Make sure to go give us a like, give us a follow. Share this link, let everybody know you're watching. That's Real Sports Live, RIL Sports Live. As Harvey's going to try to lay down a bunt, and she's going to beat out the throw to first. As the third baseman came over to the circle to try to get things going. So leadoff bunt there. And coming up for Victoria West is going to be number 12, Daisy Fuentes, with the runner on first. Here's the pitch, comes in a little outside for ball number 1. So nice bunt there to lead things off. Really well played, and Harvey able to beat out that throw on the infield. So and this pitch comes in down the middle, and there's a throw over to second. That's going to be a stolen base. So runner going to move over with a 2-0 count here. So 2 balls, no strikes to count now for Daisy Fuentes at the plate. So here's a pitch from Quiroga, and fouling it off is going to be Fuentes for strike number 1. 2 balls, 1 strike in the count now. So here's the pitch coming up. This one comes in right down the middle for strike number 2. Going to even the count out at 2-2 now, with the runner at second. And this pitch comes in a little outside for ball number 3 as the count moves full. So here's the windup on a 3-2 pitch. Here's the delivery from Quiroga, and swing and a miss for strike number 3. And so while Fuentes gets struck out, the runner on second, Sydney Harvey, moves over to third. So 1 out, runner in scoring position now for Victoria West. And here comes number 16, Christine Wensky, with the runner on, 1 out. And this one going to be fouled off by Wensky for strike number 1. Got a piece of that one. And fouls it off over to the right towards the visiting dugout. So here's Quiroga on the delivery. And this one comes in for strike number 2. So Quiroga getting ahead of the count here. No balls, 2 strikes. Christine Winsky now down in the count, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch now. This one comes in outside for ball 1. So the count 1-2. Here's the pitch from Quiroga. And Winsky hits it down over to third. And there's the throw. It's going to be safe. And a runner comes in. So Winsky's going to get on a fielder's choice, and the runner's going to come home and score. And it's going to give way to Katarina Zarate. And this pitch comes in on the outside edge for strike number 1. So 0-1 to count. Just 1 out here. And here's the pitch. And Zarate hits it over to short. And they're going to get the force out. So 2 out now, and here comes Alexis James. Two out, runner on first with their team leading 1-0. And this one comes in on the outside, and the throw over to first is not in time. Was runner able to get back in the bag, and that pitch comes in for strike number 1. So 0-1 to count now. And this pitch comes in a little outside to even things up at 1-1. So 1-1 to count. And this pitch comes in inside for strike number 2. So the count now at 1-2, a runner on first. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here for James, and here's the 1-2 pitch from Quiroga. And swing and a miss for strike number 3, and the third out of the inning. So 1 run comes in on 1 hit. There was no errors, and there was 1 left on base for Victoria West in at the top of the first inning. We're headed to the bottom of the second inning as Corpus Christi Carroll comes to bat. Lindsay Leal, Ayla Mata, and Vanessa Quiroga up for the Lady Tigers in the bottom of the first inning. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live. We'll be back.
Has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history. There are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the first inning coming up for Corpus Christi Carroll. Leading things off here is going to be Lindsay Leal, the shortstop for Carroll. You get things going, and she takes on Alexis James in the circle for Victoria West. Starting pitcher there for Lady Warriors, so here we go now. Victoria West bringing in a run in the top of the first inning as they lead 1-0 here. And Leal smacks this one over to the third baseman, who can't get a hold of it. And she's going to get on base here on an error. So runner on first. As Ayla Mata going to come over now and get into the batter's box with the runner on first. No outs here. So the ball hit right to the glove of the third baseman. She was unable to corral it and get a hold of it. And here's the bunt attempt by Mata. Going to be strike number one. So the count 0-1 here after Mata bunted that one off. And Mata trying to put down the bunt. Here's the throw over to second base. And that's going to be a runner moving over for Carroll. Throw not in time there as Leal able to come in and get on second now. So the count moves to 0-2 with the runner on second. Nobody out here for Mata. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Mata going to smack it over to the shortstop for the 6-3. Whoa, there's an error, and the runner's going to come in. And another error for Victoria West. And that's going to make it a 1-1 game here, as Lindsay Leal comes in, ties things up, and there's a runner on at second now. And the throw there looked a little bit high, as Zarate tried to get it over to the first baseman, and a little high for the glove. So nobody out, runner on second for Vanessa Quiroga here in the third spot. And here's the pitch outside for ball number one. And here's a pitch. This one comes in on the outside edge for strike number one. And they're in that outside corner. James fits it in there, and it's going to be An even count at 1-1. And Quiroga gets a piece of that one and fouls it off. Count going to move to 1-2, but she got a lot of force behind that one, and she fouls it off to deep left here. And this pitch comes in outside for ball number 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, evens the count up now. Nobody out. Runner on second for Vanessa Quiroga. And here's the pitch, and Quiroga is going to foul this one off behind her over to the left, and the count's going to stay even at 2-2. So a couple of errors here early for Victoria West on the infield. An error at third and the error at first. Here's a 2-2 pitch from James. And Quiroga is going to send it past first and second for an RBI single. And it's 2-1. Carroll now. Courtesy runner going to come in, and that's going to be number 22, Gabby Acuna. Coming over to first, and up next in the 4th spot, Caitlin Mendez for Corpus Christi Carroll is going to be a runner at first now. Nobody out. 2 runs coming in. And this pitch comes in for strike number 1. And this pitch gets away from the catcher here. I'm going to call it a foul. And it's going to be strike number 2. So 0-2 the count here. And this is going to be popped up here in the infield for out number 1. So here comes Rian Avalos with the runner on, 1 out now. And is the 5th batter in the lineup for Carroll. Here's a pitch from James. And this one's going to be sent over into the left field, and another error there. And the 3rd error of the inning puts 2 runners on. And here's Allison Garcia. 2 runners on, 1 out now after the error in left field. And this pitch comes in a little outside for ball number 1. So there's been an error at third, an error at first, and an error in left field for Victoria West. And this pitch comes in outside for ball number 2. So 2-0 the count here for Allison Garcia. 6th batter in the lineup here for the Carroll Lady Tigers. And this pitch comes in outside for ball number 3. So the count moves to 3-0. And it's a ball away from juicing the bases for Corpus Christi Carroll, with Jasmine Trevino on deck. And this pitch comes in outside for ball number 4. And up comes Jasmine Trevino. Bases loaded, 1 out here. And the wind blowing outward here, so. And this pitch comes in for strike number 1. And here's a pitch, and this one going, and it hits the back of the wall. 1 run's going to score. 2 runs are going to score, so a 2 RBI single here. For Jasmine Trevino. So the score now 4-1. And Bri Herrera, with runners on first and second, 1 out. And this pitch comes in a little outside for strike number 1. So 4 runs coming across, 2 hits so far, but there's been 3 errors. The big story here in the bottom of the first inning for Victoria West, as Carroll taking advantage. But that last hit, a big one. And swing and a miss there for strike number 2 from Herrera. That last hit coming off the bat of Trevino, right into center field, just hitting the yellow part of the wall right above the 210-foot mark in center field. And this pitch way outside for ball number 1. This the 8th batter in the lineup. Here's a pitch from James, and Herrera reaches for that one for strike number 3 and the second out. And here comes Haley Duran. With 2 on, 2 out in a 4-1 game. And we're going to get time here called. And we're going to get a courtesy runner in here. Allison Garcia going to come off. And they're going to bring in Justice Garcia. So here's the first pitch, and that's going to be strike number 1 for Haley Duran. And this one comes in outside, even up the count now at 1-1. And this one put in play over to the shortstop for the force out. So 4 runs come across on 2 hits. There's 3 errors, and there was 1 left on base for Corpus Christi Carroll in the bottom of the 4th inning. So we're through 1. We're headed to the 2nd, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live. Back after this.
Stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past? First pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
The Harlingen CISD elementary experience looks something like this. Let's see that again. To learn more about the HCISD elementary experience, visit hcisd.org.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the 2nd inning here between Carroll and Victoria West. Carroll leads 4-1 after putting across 4 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning. And here we are, top of the 2nd, leading off for Victoria West, Malaya Huerta. Here's a pitch and swing and a miss for strike number 1 there for Huerta. Count moves to 0-1. So bunt got things going for Victoria West's lone hit, and they got a couple of runners on via fielder's choice, and were able to bring one in as they beat out the throw to home as the count moves to 1-1. That was the story of the top of the 1st inning, but a couple of strikeouts for Vanessa Quiroga there otherwise. And this pitch comes in down the middle for strike number 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here. And this pitch comes in outside for ball number 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Huerta puts this one in play, and she's going to beat out the throw. And here comes Marisa Rosales with the runner on first now. And first pitch comes in for strike number 1 for Rosales. So 0-1 the count. Here's Quiroga. Here's the delivery. And this one going to be put in play, and it's going to be a 4-3 ground out for out number 1. So a runner moving over to second now with 1 out, and here comes number 7, Lily Chavez. And this pitch comes in right down the middle for strike number 1. Runner on second, 1 out here for Victoria West. Lily Chavez at the plate for the Warriors. And Chavez smacks this one into deep right field for the fly out. And here's the throw. It's going to move the runner over to third. So the runner at third now, 2 outs, and coming to the plate is going to be number 2, Zariah Brigham. And an RBI single there for Brigham. So top of the lineup now for Victoria West. And there's a strike, and then there's an errant throw over into the outfield, but center fielder able to come up and save it from rolling any further. So the count now 0-2, 2 outs, runner on second now. And this pitch comes in outside for ball number 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And right up the third base line. They're going to call it a foul ball. That one was close. So the count now 1-2. So here's the 1-2 pitch. And this one down the middle for strike number 3 to end the inning as Harvey goes down looking. So 1 run comes across on 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 left on base for Victoria East in the top of the second. We're halfway through the second, and we're going to go to the bottom now with Corpus Christi Carroll due up. 9-1-2 as Jazz Miller, Lindsay Leal, and Ayla Mata due up for Carroll in the bottom of the first inning. Keep it here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Real Sports Live.
game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Rio Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 4-2 ball game here. Victoria West brings in another run, top of the first inning. So Lindsay Leal coming up to the plate. Actually, we're at the top of the lineup now. And that first pitch comes in for ball number 1. And Leal fouls this one off. Makes count 1-1. And this pitch comes in low and outside for ball number 2. So the count moves to 2-1. And this pitch comes in for strike number 2. And swing and a miss for strike number 3 for the first out of the inning. And here comes Ayla Mata. Mata last time reached base on an error. And Mata gets a piece of this one as she fouls it off over to the left a few yards past the dugout for strike number 1. And Mata sends this one right past the glove of the shortstop for a base hit here. So Mata with the single gets a runner on. And here comes the pitcher, Vanessa Quiroga. So 1 on with 1 out here. Quiroga with an RBI single last time up. Makes it count 1-0 now. And Quiroga is going to pop this one up over to the outfield for out number 2. She flies out to left. So coming up is Caitlin Mendes. With the runner on, 2 outs. She popped up here on the infield for an out in the last inning. And this pitch comes in outside, and runner's going to move over to second as the ball got away for the catcher there. So the count's 1-0 here. And this pitch comes in outside for ball number 2. And here's a pitch, swing and a miss for Mendes for strike number 1. Count moves 2-1 now. And this pitch comes in outside for ball number 3. So Mendes well out of the count now, 3-1. And this pitch way inside for ball number 4. It's going to put a runner on now, another one on. Runner's going to be at second and third. So 2 out, runners at first and second. And this one is gone. 2-run shot, Rayan Avalos. And here's the pitch, and Avalos just gets all of that one as she sends it over. That left field wall. Actually a 3-run shot. And a ground out here is going to end the inning. So we have a 3-run home run from Rayan Avalos to put up another 3 runs for the Carroll Lady Tigers in the bottom of the second. So 3 runs come across. 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on for Carroll in the bottom of the second. We're through 2, headed to the third. Keep it here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Real Sports Live. Back after this.
New store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for a fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the top of the third inning here, and it's a 7-2 lead for Corpus Christi Carroll. They get 3 runs coming across on a 3-run shot to left field from Rayan Avalos, and that's going to give way now here to Victoria West as they trail by 5 runs. Leading things off is going to be Daisy Fuentes, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out the first time she was at the plate. That pitch comes in for ball number 1. And this pitch comes in down the middle. Strike number 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. And this one going to be fouled off for strike number 2. So the count now 1-2 for Fuentes. Leadoff batter here in the top of the third inning. And this pitch comes in high. The riser there for ball number 2. Evens things out now, 2-2. And here's a pitch. This one fouled off. Count going to stay even at 2-2 for Fuentes. And I want to remind everybody that we got another softball game coming up after this one. Immediately following, we're going to have Corpus Christi King taking on Corpus Christi Moody in the second half of our doubleheader. So we'll have that one for you as well. And here's the pitch, and Fuentes goes down looking for strike number 3. And coming up next is going to be Winsky. Reached on a fielder's choice last time. Was able to bring a runner in. And Winsky makes a lot of contact with that one as she fouls it off. Over to the right. 0-1 the count now. And Winsky sends this one over to the shortstop. There's the throw. It's made for the 6-3 ground out for out number 2. So 2 down now, and coming to the plate, Katarina Zarate, who also reached on a fielder's choice. Last time up. First on the fielder's choice and allowing the Carroll Tigers to come out with the force out. And this pitch comes in low for ball number 1. So the count moves to 1-0. And swing and a miss for strike number 1. And the count now 2-1 for Zarate. Two balls, one strikes, two out here. And here's the pitch there from Quiroga for ball number 3. So here's the pitch from Quiroga. And Zarate is going to foul this one off down the third base line. Count's going to go to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So here's the 3-2 pitch from Quiroga. Here's the pitch, and this one's sent way out there. And it's going to be fair, and Wensky's going to head over to the third. There's the throw on the error. And the fans not liking that call there, as they're going to call it a foul ball. Did come off the glove of the outfielder, but the rule's going to be a foul ball. So the count's going to stay at 3-2 now. And swing and a miss, and down goes Zarate for strike number 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for Victoria West as they go 3 up, 3 down in the top of the third inning. So we're headed over to the bottom of the third now. And due up for Carroll is going to be Jasmine Trevino, Bria Herrera, and Haley Duran in the bottom of the third. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live. Back after this.
Since COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people with grants, and so we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the third inning. A little bit of a controversial call on that last out. Zarate had hit it over into right field. Contact was made by the glove. The ball would have came down foul, but the right fielder's glove touching it. She's missed making the catch. And the officials call, initially they were going to let the runner stand, and then after some deliberation, they're going to call it a foul ball, and then Zarate striking out to end the inning. So here we are in the bottom of the third. Leading things off is going to be Jasmine Trevino, as she's 0-1 in the 1-0 in the count now. And here's the pitch from James to make it 2-0. And Trevino sends this one over, and there's Zarate making the throw for the 6-3 ground out. And that's out number 1 here for Carroll. And coming up, Bree Herrera for Carroll. Struck out last time. So after that 6-3 ground out, the Davino is 1 for 2 on the day. And Bree Herrera 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. This one comes in low for ball number 1. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here. And Herrera going to foul this one off into the visitor dugout for strike number 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike here. Here's a pitch from James. And right up the middle for a base hit is going to be Bree Herrera. And she's going to come around for a stand-up double. And just makes a nice contact here. And she hits it right past the glove of a reaching second baseman. So runner on, 1 out. And coming up is Haley Duran. Put the ball on the plate last time, but hit into a force out to end the inning, and she tries to put that one down for a bunt. And this one's going to go foul for strike number 1. So 0-1 to count here for Haley Duran. Runner at second base. And here's a pitch, and this one right up the middle once again, and it's going to be an RBI single. And there's the throw. Not going to be in time. And the score is 8-2. And it's 8-2, and here comes Leal now. We'll cycle back to the top of the lineup. And this one over to the outside for ball number 1. And this one going to be a 6-3 ground out. And the runner is going to be safe at third. And here comes Mata. Mata with the single last time at the plate. Runner in scoring position for her. And she puts this one up. And the left fielder comes out and makes the play for out number 3. So 1 run comes across, 2 hits. There's no errors, and there was 1 left on base for Carroll in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And that's going to be it here. We are through 3, and we're headed to the top of the 4th inning as Victoria West coming up to bat. So we'll be back. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live.
As one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the top of the 4th inning, and Carroll leads Victoria West 8-2. Another run comes in the bottom of the 3rd inning for Carroll on an RBI single from Haley Duran. So leading off things here in the top of the 4th inning for Victoria West is going to be the pitcher, Alexis James. And here's the pitch from Quiroga inside for strike number 1. No balls, 1 strikes. And this pitch comes in outside for ball number 1. And here's the next pitch, and James swings and misses for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes here for the leadoff batter in the top of the 4th inning, Alexis James. James 0 for 1, struck out last time she was here at the plate. Back in the top of the 1st inning. And she gets a piece of this one and fouls it off just past the home dugout. So the count's going to stay at 1-2. And swing and a miss for strike number 3, and down goes James. And get a look at this last pitch. James reaching for it just a little bit. And we'll see the pitch here from Quiroga. And this one a little outside, and James goes down, and that was out number 1. And coming up next, it's going to be Malaya Huerta. 1 out, nobody on here. And here's the first pitch. Swings, and she misses that one for strike number 1. And Quiroga striking out 3 of her last 4 batters face as she's starting to get into a groove. Make it 4 of her last 5. And she's ahead of the count here now. 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes. 6 strikeouts on the day for Vanessa Quiroga in the circle for Corpus Christi Carroll. And here's the pitch. This one comes in outside for ball number 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And here comes the next pitch. make that 5 of the last 6 as Huerta goes down swinging. 4 out, number 2. Three batters in a row struck out here by Quiroga. And she's starting to dole him out now, and here comes Marissa Rosales. 0 for 1 on the day, 4-3 ground out back in the top of the 2nd inning. And this pitch comes in off the glove of the catcher. So 1-0 the count now. And here's the pitch. This one comes in. High and low outside for ball number 2. Two balls, no strikes for Marissa Rosales. And here's a pitch from Quiroga, and Rosales swings and misses. Looks like the official says she made a little bit of contact there. Either way, strike number 1. If the ball goes, the count goes to 2-1. And here's the pitch, and this one put in play, and the shortstop makes the throw. 4 out, number 3. The 6-3 ground out there to end the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for Victoria West in the top of the 4th inning. And Quiroga retires the side for 2nd inning in a row here. So we're headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. Keep it here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Real Sports Live. Back after this.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles, how about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you, Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Real Sports Live. We are in the top of the 4th inning. And leading things off here with the base hit is going to be Vanessa Quiroga. So runner at first. Leadoff single here for Quiroga. And here comes Caitlin Mendes. And back-to-back hits for Carroll to start the inning. And this is going to be a double. And a runner's going to come in, and sliding home is going to be Quiroga. So runner at second now with the runner scored to make it 9-2. And in comes the Avalos. Rayanne Avalos, 3-run homer in the bottom of the second inning. And she fouls off here. This pitch comes in outside for ball number 1. So the count at 1-1, and this one popped up here in the infield for out number 1. And up next for Carroll is going to be number 15, Allison Garcia. 5-3 ground out last time she was up. So she's 1-0, 0-1 on the day with a walk. And this one way inside and gets away from the catcher, and the runner's going to move over to third. And this pitch comes in outside for a ball. So 2-0 the count. And this one hit over to the second baseman for out number 2. And here comes Jasmine Trevino. This pitch comes in outside for ball number 1. So runner at third, 2 out. This ball comes in outside for ball number 2. And this pitch is going to go over to the right field gap for an RBI. And another runner is going to come in to make it 10-2. And we're going to have a timeout. Notice in the comments there was a discrepancy in the Victoria West lineup, so we can address that now. Lineup submitted to us and in the press box had number 19, Malaya Huerta, batting in the 6th spot, and Josie Barderas in at the sub. After reading the comments and double checking really quick, it is indeed Barderas. I guess the last second switch must have been made before. So we apologize for that. But we have a runner at second now for Carroll. It's an RBI double by Jasmine Trevino. Makes it a 10-2 game. And here comes Bree Herrera. The count 1-0, and this pitch comes in for strike number 1. So 1-1 the count now. And the wind kicking up a little bit. And that's going to be ball number 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike here. And this one deep to center field for a fly out, and that's going to end the inning. So another couple of runs come across. So 2 runs on 3 hits, and 1 left on, and no errors credited. So we are through 4 innings, and coming up next for Victoria West is going to be Chavez to lead things on in the top of the 5th inning. Keep it here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Real Sports Live. We'll be back.
One army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
The Harlingen CISD elementary experience looks something like this. Let's see that again. To learn more about the HCISD elementary experience, visit hcisd.org.
And we're back, leading off for Victoria West in the top of the 5th inning. Lily Chavez coming to the plate. An RBI single last time out in the top of the 2nd inning. And right now it's an 8-run lead for Corpus Christi Carroll. As Carroll's put up 4 runs in the first, 3 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, and 2 more in the 4th inning. And you're going to have a leadoff single here for Victoria West. And that's so that last hit by Chavez was the first hit since the 2nd inning. Actually, Chavez did not have an RBI in the top of the 2nd. That was actually Brigham here. But that was the first hit since the top of the 2nd inning. But since then, it's been a really solid showing by Quiroga, as Brigham is going to ground out here for the first out. Runner's going to move over. So that's going to be 1 out. And we're at the top of the lineup, and here comes Sydney Harvey. But ever since that hit in the top of the 2nd, Quiroga has really tightened things up, and here's an error that's going to bring in a run for Victoria West. So that's going to make it a 7-run game, and up next is going to be Fuentes. So here's this pitch coming in for strike number 1. 0-1 the count. Runner comes in via an error to make it 10-3. Last pitch evens up the count at 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike now. And that pitch comes in for strike number 2. And this one put in play, and there's the throw over to first for the second out. Actually, the throw was not in time, so runner's going to be at the corner now with 1 out. And here comes Wensky after an error. Puts runners at the corner for Carroll, and we're going to have a little bit of a visit to the circle. Before this inning, Quiroga had struck out 5 of the last 7 batters, but now she has allowed a hit and a couple of errors, brought in a run and put runners on now. She's given up a hit in this inning with 1 out and 2 on. So they come out, talk, settle her down a bit, and see if she can get out of this inning. In a bit of a jam here. Runners at first and third, and here comes Wensky. And this pitch comes in right down the middle for strike number 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. Here for Wensky. I'm going to call this a ball. I'm going to even things up at 1-1. One's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners now at second and third. And Wensky's going to pop up for out number 2. So 2 down now. And here comes Zalate struck out last time out when she hit that ball over to right field. It was eventually overturned and called foul. And Zarate gets a piece of that one, fouls it off behind her for strike number 1. So no balls, 1 strike here. And this pitch comes in a little low for ball number 1. And this pitch comes in a little high for ball number 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike here. And Zarate going to put this one in play. It bounces out to shortstop. And a runner's going to score. So it's now 10-4, and 3 errors have aided Victoria West in this inning as 2 runners come in via errors. This one on an E6 as a shortstop just sees the ball bounce right off of her. So the Victoria West, Alexis James, the pitcher up now. She's behind in the count 0-1. Here's the pitch. This one comes in on the outside for ball number 2. And a runner going to move over to second. So runner's going to be at second and third now. And this pitch comes in inside for strike number 2. So it's going to be 1 ball, 2 strikes now. And James going to put this one in play. And once again, the bounce off the shortstop. And another run's going to come in. And the second time that's happened here in the inning. Just that hop here. And here's James. Just hops. We're off the glove there. Coming up, this is going to be Balderas. Again, Balderas in this spot. The lineup submitted to both us and the PA system with Malia Huerta in this spot. So that's what it shows on the Corpus Christi ISD scoreboard in center field. So runners now at first and second. So the count 0-1 here for Balderas, who's going to pop up, and the first baseman going to make the play to end the inning. So 3 runs come across on 1 hit. There was 4 errors, and there was 2 left on base here for Victoria West in the top of the 5th inning. And the game is a 5-run game. Carroll leads 10-5, bottom of the 5th inning. Coming up next, and due up is going to be Haley Duran, followed by Jazz Miller and Lindsay Leal, top of the lineup. So 8-9-1. Due up. Actually, it's going to be Duran, Leal, and Mata coming up next for Corpus Christi Carroll. So keep it here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back. This is Real Sports Live.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Rio Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the 5th inning, Victoria West brings in 5 runs, aided by 4 errors from Corpus Christi Carroll in the top of the 5th inning. But here we are. Bottom of the 5th, and leading things off is going to be Haley Duran for Carroll. Last time Duran was out, RBI single. And this pitch comes in way outside, so that's going to bring things to 2-0 now. And here's the hit, and this one straight ahead past the glove of the center fielder, and it's going to be a double as Duran slides in for a leadoff base hit. And we're at the top of the lineup for Carroll as Lindsay Leal comes to bat. 6-3 ground out last time for Leal. And she's 0 for 2, reached on an error in 3 appearances at the plate. And this one going to be fouled off for strike number 1. And here's the pitch. Comes in outside for ball number 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's a pitch from James, and this one comes in for ball number 2 right on the outside. So here we go. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runner on second. And this one comes in for ball number 3. So 3 balls, 1 strike for Lindsay Leal. And here's the pitch. This one comes in outside for ball number 4 and a walk. Runners now at first and second, nobody out. And here comes A. Lamata. So Mata flying out last time up. She's 1 for 2 with when she reached base on an error. And she's going to pop this one up. And for a base hit, and she's going to load the bases. And she put it in nicely into left center field, right between the left fielder and the center fielder. And bases juiced now, nobody out. And here comes Quiroga. Last time up, a single. She's 2 for 3 with an RBI so far. And she makes contact here. For strike number 1. So no balls, 1 strike. And Quiroga gets a piece of this one for strike number 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And Quiroga sends this one right over to the second baseman for the force out. And a run's going to score. So the lead's now 11-5 with the runners at the corner. And 1 out. With the run coming in. That was Duran crossing the plate. And this is Caitlin Mendez up now. Double last time up. She's 1 for 2 and a walk in 3 appearances tonight. And this pitch comes in for strike number 1. So the count now 1-1. And a runner moves over to second. I'll put runners at second and third now here for Carroll. And this pitch way outside for ball number 2. 2-1 the count now. For Caitlin Mendez. And Mendez is going to send this one over to first, and she's going to reach on an error, and the run's going to cross. So runners at the corner now. It's a 12-5 game as Leal crosses the plate. And we're going to get a stolen base now. Runners at second and third. And at the plate now, it's Rayan Avalos. She's got a 3-run homer. If she can repeat that, she'd end the game right here. But here she is ahead in the count, 2-0. And this pitch comes in on the outside corner for strike number 1. So 2 balls, 1 strike now for Rayan Avalos. And Avalos reaches for that one and fouls it off, and the count now to 2-2. Count even at 2-2, 2 on with the 1 out. Here's a pitch, and Avalos gets a piece of this one, and she's going to record a base hit, and the outfielder and center fielder run into each other, and 1 run's going to score. So an RBI double there. And here comes Allison Garcia. Garcia 0 for 2 with a walk. Runners at second and third now with 1 out. And this pitch makes it 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes here for Allison Garcia as she tries to bring in the next 2 runs. And this pitch comes in for strike number 1. 2 ball, 1 strike. And she's going to foul this one off. Here's Garcia. So it's going to make it a 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. And this pitch comes in outside for ball number 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes here. And here's the pitch. And this one going to be popped up, and the catch not going to be made. And a runner's going to score, and sliding in for out number 2, but a run comes in. So here comes Jasmine Trevino, runner on first. And this pitch comes in outside for strike number 1. And this pitch comes in low for ball number 1. And this pitch outside for strike number 2. And this pitch over to the pitcher, and that's going to end the inning. And we are through 5. So 4 runs come in, 3 hits, 1 left on base, and an error for for Carroll. And the bottom of the 5th, we're headed to the top of the 6th inning, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live.
But we have many soldiers, from the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history. There are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the top of the 6th inning, and it's a 14-5 Carroll lead over Victoria West. The Lady Tigers bring in 4 more runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, and here we are. Leading things off is Marisa Rosales. And this pitch comes in for ball number 1. And this pitch comes in outside for strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike here. And this pitch comes in outside for ball number 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. For the leadoff hitter here, Rosales. And Rosales is going to get a leadoff single. And here comes Lily Chavez up to the plate now. One on, nobody out. Top of the 6th inning. And this pitch comes in high for ball number 1. And Chavez It's going to fly out to center field for out number 1. Up next is going to be number 2, Zariah Brigham. And here's a pitch, and Bringham's going to foul this one off for strike number 1. Nine-run lead here for Carroll. They brought in multiple runs in 4 or 5 innings. And Brigham going to foul this one off once again for strike number 2. So 0-2 the count. And swing and a miss for strike number 3. And that's the second out here of the inning. Top of the lineup, here comes Harvey. With 2 out, runner on first. And this pitch comes in inside for strike number 1. No balls, 1 strike here. And this ball going to go foul. So 0-2 the count now. And Harvey comes up with the base hit. And puts runners on now. 2 at first and second. And here comes Fuentes. Fuentes reached on an error last time. 4 errors for Carroll in the top of the 5th inning. Just a really bad inning for them, which has really prolonged the game here. As this pitch comes in for strike number 1. 2 out, 2 on. With a 0-1 count. And Fuentes pops this one up. And the second baseman gets under it for out number 3. So no runs on 2 hits, there was no errors, and there was 2 left on base for Victoria West in the top of the 6th. And we're headed to the bottom of the 6th. A run ends it here for Corpus Christi Carroll in the bottom. So keep it here. This is Real Sports Live, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back.
COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people with grants, and so we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, There are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the 6th inning, Corpus Christi Carroll leads Victoria West 14-5, and due up for the Corpus Christi Carroll is going to be 8-9-1, and coming to the plate to lead things off is going to be Bree Herrera, and Herrera last time at the plate flying out, and before that a double, and before that she struck out, so she is 1 for 3 here, and this is going to be her 4th plate appearance. And we got a new pitcher in for Victoria West as they try to extend the game one more inning. And Marisa Rosales heads into the circle for Victoria West. And this pitch comes in for strike number 1. And this pitch comes in outside. For ball number 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike here. And this one deep, deep, deep. And it's gone, and that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. Bree Herrera walks off here with a solo shot. And that's going to do it here. It's 15-5. Let's check out that replay. And Herrera just gets all of that one and sends it right over the fence. And she rounds those bases. And that's going to be it here, ladies and gentlemen. Carroll wins 15-5 in 6. Player of the game is going to be Miss Quiroga. And the circle had a pretty solid outing so far here for Carroll. Carroll, a couple of home runs here in the game. But 15-5, and they put up runs in every single inning. So here, keep it here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go back to our next game. Moody going to take on Corpus Christi King. So 15-5, the final here, as Carroll defeats Victoria West. So thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back in a little bit. We're going to set things up, and we're going to get you this next game, the second half of our doubleheader. King taking on hosting Moody here at Cabinets. Thank you for watching.